Yes, our reporter, Molemo-waOne Mothoa, has been in court at the North Gauteng High Court watching the proceedings unfold for us, and she joins us now live. Molemo, good afternoon to you. Thank you so much for coming through. What a day it's been, Nicholas Ninow taking to the stand this morning. And of course, the proceedings have just concluded with this grandmother giving testimony.
Afternoon, Palisa. Indeed, what a long day. The matter has been stood down until tomorrow morning at 9, with the last person on the stand being Nicholas Ninow's grandmother, who actually broke down. She became so emotional, saying that the Nicholas, the Nicholas before court is not the Nicholas that she knows. The Nicholas that she knows and has raised is very good and cannot even harm anyone, not even a child. And she actually laid it before court that there were a number of interventions that, she has made before for him to get a drug-free life. There was a time when Nicholas and his friend, she said, promised her that they won't be doing drugs anymore. But then that continued regardless. And we heard earlier today that he actually was admitted 5 times in rehabilitation centers, one actually where he was dismissed because when he was there he continued using drugs. And we also have heard that even when he is now right now in custody, he actually has been using those drugs. And the grandmother actually said she's very, very, sorry, and she actually poured her heart out to the family of the victim, saying that she actually acknowledges that her grandson is wrong, and that she actually, he, deserves some, punishment. But when looking back, knowing the child that she raised, this is another picture, which is, of course, foreign to her. And just to get some more reactions, with the ANC Women's League, Nozipho Jobeka Makeke, just to hear Jobeka, what has been your reaction, or what has been what can you say about how the proceedings panned out today?
Thank you. As we've been listening to Nicholas' mitigations today, we could see clearly that he does not belong to the society. And with his evidence, he said that drugs and liquor didn't influence him to rape the girl. He said he knew what he was doing. So it means now, today, when we focus on drugs, as if drugs pushed him to do what he has done, I don't think that we should entertain that. Yes, he is a drug addict, and he has been to rehabilitation centers, 5 of them. But what must happen is justice. We want to see him behind bars. We want to see him getting the life sentence of imprisonment. He must be there. And he must not get any parole, because he's not good to the society, he's not good to us, and he's going to hurt more people, destroy more victims in South Africa. So we need to have a free South Africa with people like him locked up there, because he's not prepared even to rehabilitate. So the issue of drugs, we're putting it aside, and we're saying that he did that soberly. And he said he had intentions and he knew what he was doing. So we just put drugs and liquor aside here, and we can hear, the psychologists, we can hear the mom. And what is even worse, he was not remorse. There is the difference between the regret and remorse. When he feels for his family, he feels for his son, for his ex-fiancée. And lastly, his counsel, legal counsel, asked him that, what are you saying about the victim? And then he said, no, I've written a poem. As if she's just nothing. she is undermining. She can't say it in his own mouth that I feel sorry. You know, it's like now it has happened, and I'm sorry. I'm not trying to be a racist, but the way he's acting. He doesn't care for that child. So we're saying that the harsher sentence is life imprisonment, and that's it. And that's our feeling. That's what we've heard today, and nothing else. As the ANC Women's League, we stick to that, and he must just go there, rot in jail. The society does not need him. Thank you.
We've heard that he was abused as a child, sexually abused as a child. Would you say that has played a role in the person he is today?
Well, I think previously I said there is something wrong with his upbringing, and we're getting all this today. But that does not condone him to go out and destroy other people, other children out there. No. That does not give him that permission. And he's lucky because he has been given an opportunity to be rehabilitated about 5 times. How many of drug addicts that we see out there that don't even get the opportunity of going to one rehabilitation? How many? There's plenty of them. Hence we're saying that let us look at those children. But now, he's playing about that. He's making a mockery of what he has got. He's got everything in his plate, and he's abusing it. So that we don't care. We just want to see him behind bars, and that's it.
Thank you, Ma. Well, there was the ANC Women's League, Nozipho Jobeka Makeke, and that's back to you, Palisa.
All right, Molemo, just before we let you go, what is expected to happen tomorrow morning when the court resumes at 9?
Well, tomorrow morning it's expected that they will start with the grandmother, as you would have seen earlier when she broke down. She could hardly, be heard as she was crying. So the judge actually thought that the matter should stand down so that they resume tomorrow, and she'll be the first person tomorrow to be in the box.
All right, Molemo-waOne Mothoa, SABC News reporter live from the North Gauteng High Court in Pretoria. As she said, the case will resume tomorrow morning at 9 o'clock. The grandmother to Nicholas Ninow, Pauline Gareke, is expected to continue with her testimony.